Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel, Julie Neilcraft. So today we are going to be playing with some gorgeous goodies from Clever Prints. So these have been designed by the lovely Emma Blake, and she is going to be on the telly box. She's going to be on Hachanda on the 2nd playing with these. So we have some new goodies. We have these gorgeous stamp set called So Much More, and it's lots of little filler stamps, little extra little bits that just really help to make off a piece. So this is the new stamp set. So we've got some gorgeous things there, and we are teaming it up with the Jungle Fever. The stamps I have of the Jungle Fever is we've got this gorgeous one here. I'm just trying to see if it's got a Jungle Diva. Okay, we also have Jungle Feathers with some gorgeous Emma bugs. I'm trying to do that so that you're not seeing it in the camera there. And we have the gorgeous Chameleon. So I was thinking what I want to do is, we've also got some papers. We've got these sort of black and white ones that have been produced on the Dolly Dimples mixed media card. So they're great for throwing all your mediums at. So we're going to have a little play with those, and included is these frames. So I'm actually going to take some of my frames and cut them out, because I've got a couple of ideas of different things that we could do with that. So I am actually going to cut out the outside of the frame, but I'm also going to cut out the inside of the frame as well. But I'll maybe just pop you on fast forward while I do that. Okay, so I have cut out my frames. I'm just popping them to the side, and I am now going to use this Chameleon. Emma stamps are huge. And look at the size of this. Thankfully I have one of the Be Crafty stamping blocks, which is also huge, so that's fortuitous. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp a whole load of elements onto this mixed media card, and we'll colour it up and cut it all out, and then we'll have lots of bits to play with to put our project together. So I'm using my VersaFine Clear because it's nice and black, and also once it's dry and set it is waterproof, and I am planning on using my watercolours with this. And I'm sat down, I should probably be stood up. So I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure. You need to allow time for the ink to transfer from your stamp to the paper, so just be patient. So giving it a bit of pressure, and then this is designed just to give it a little flex. Bev says flex, don't bend, you know, just to make sure. And then once we're sure that's transferred, there we can go. Perfect image, isn't he gorgeous? Right, so I'm going to take that off. I love this butterfly. This is the weirdest butterfly you've ever seen in your life, but it's awesome. It's like an anteater butterfly. But Emma says all of these just sort of came out of her head, and you can tell. They're just awesome. Right, so I'm going to stamp a few of these because I think they'll be handy to have. I always tend to find I've got my main feature image, and then all the bits that could be nice little extras that will help you build up the page. Stamp quite a few of them. I might not use them, I might, who knows, but it will just help to if you've got extra bits and pieces there, it just helps to be able to build a page without too much fuss. Now I need to clean my block because I'm beginning to put black smudges onto my card, but that's okay. We can deal with that. So I'm going to take some, aren't they cool? Aren't they just the strangest butterflies, but they're so cool. Right, we've also got some leaves. I'm going to maybe get a smaller block for these now. I'm kind of using a block that's too big for the stamps. So I'm just going to, let's see, can I get away with putting a few stamps on a block? This is not ideal. it's not really what you're supposed to do. Oh, there's also a little baby one of those anteater butterflies. Right, I'm just going to see if I can get away with stamping all three at once. Yeah, there we go. Just saves a bit of time. Means we can power through this a little bit. So let's get some of those stamped onto the page. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll just take myself off camera. I'm just going to keep going, stamping lots of elements from the various stamp sets, and then I'll come back and we'll colour it together. Okay, so I have stamped all of this lovely lot out, and I've got my gouaches out and my Jane Davenport paints, and I'm just going to do some very loose, easy watercolouring. We're not going to think about it too much today. I'm literally just going to paint over it like that, because I'm going to be cutting these out, so I'm just going to actually get some colour over that, and then we will put in some extra details in a bit. But I quite like this technique when I'm especially at the minute, because I've got to get things ready for a TV show, and you've got quite a lot to make, and it can, as much as I love spending ages with my alcohol markers, some quick and easy colouring like this is fantastic. And you can bring the details in, and then because I'm going to fussy cut this out, it will all look fantabulous, and I'll probably end up colouring in the details in the bit. But it also makes fussy cutting it easier because you're not left with that sort of white edges and having to get it right. So I'm going to do the leaves the same colour. So this is why I quite like having a whole set done. And the other thing about this is, because I'm using similar paint colours, they are going to be similar tones, but they're not going to be exactly the same because I'm literally just sloshing it about. So when we put the project together, we're going to get that depth, because not everything's going to look exactly the same, but it will all coordinate beautifully, which is wonderful. So I'm just going to leave the chameleon dry just now, and what we will find is we'll come back to that when it has dried, and we'll add in a bit more detail. So we will get there with it. Right, I'm going to do some of these roses now as well. So again, I'm just going to get some colour on. So what I tend to do is we'll put the colour on, and then I'll come in with a second colour as well, and that will help with the depth. Now one of my new favourite combinations is that bright pink, which is peach red from the Arteza gouache, and then the saffron orange. That makes a fabulous sort of psychedelic colour, which I just adore. So yeah, I like that a lot. It suits me. It tends to be one of my new favourite combinations. It's just so bright and cheerful, which is great. So again, I'm always making sure that I have a couple of colours, that I'm painting it with a couple of colours, and as I said, that gives me my highlight, my mid-tone and my shadow. So as you can see, we're putting this together really quickly. I'm just putting a base colour on first, and then adding some more details. So I'll probably just carry on with this, because I'm not really sure there's much else to say. I'm just going to continue to say that I'm going really fast and that I'm mixing two colours together. I think everything that I've already said is what I'll continue to keep saying. So rather than hear me repeat myself over and over, I think I'll just go off camera now and finish the rest of these, and then I'll come back when we're adding a bit more detail into the stamps. Okay, so this has dried off a little bit, so I'm going to add some more colours now to the chameleon. So let's just get a little bit of colour, so I'm a bit more specific now. So I'm going to get a bit of colour in his eye. It's got a bit watery there, but that's fine. I'll just go in like so, and then I'll probably add a little bit more detail to the leaves as well. So we'll just get a bit more. So I'm just sort of building it up, and this is the thing whenever we're colouring, whatever medium that we're using, the more we build it up, the more definition that we get. So it depends what sort of overall look and feel that we want. So I'm not too bothered with the leaves and things like that, because they're going to be sort of little accessories, like all these ones down here, they're going to be little accessories to the piece, but I kind of want the main focal piece to have that depth and that richness. So I will sort of keep building up. I will keep building that up because, you know, as I said, we want it to have that depth of colour. So I'm just going to be popping different colours into him now, and then once I've done that I will sort of like deepen these parts under the belly, you know, because he's got it would have the shadow there. But let's just have a bit of fun with this and bring out some of those details. I'm not actually sticking to the artwork, well, the lines. I'm going over the lines a little bit, so it will be a sort of very loose watery colour feel, but it just helps to add a little bit of something. Let's bring a bit of, as soon as we've brought that pink in, let's give him some pink cheeks as well, because he's just too cute. So that's a bit pink for me, but all we need to do is sort of, we'll add a bit more water to loosen it a little bit, and we can either let that dry or we can just sort of lift it up. So now he's got like a tint of pink there, but he doesn't look like he's too embarrassed. So and just keep playing. So I'm going to, as I said, I like the pink and the orange together, so I might just bring some of the orange in now to the bottom of this here, and then we could actually bring some orange. So I'm just going to add, there's lots of like doodles in this little character as well, so there's like the opportunity to be creative and to add different elements. So let's get a bit of orange into this as well, and of course as it's going on to the different colours it's going to look slightly different again, because the orange isn't going on to white, we're kind of putting that onto blue. So obviously you want to be careful doing that because you don't want to end up with mud. So if it's a really dark colour underneath and you don't want to end up, because obviously I've got blue and then for orange we've got red and yellow, so there is a possibility of it going a bit brown, but I know that that's quite pale there, but obviously if you have gone a bit darker you just maybe need to be aware of that if that's not a look that you're going for. But if you do end up creating a colour you don't like, a bit of water and your towel and you can pull that back up quite easy. So I'm just going to add a bit more depth down here, and then I think we'll get a bit of a darker blue as well. As I said, just that's a bit too dark, so I'm going to do what I just said. I'm going to grab some water now and just pull it out, and see, we don't have to panic, but it's just going to give us that depth of colour because we've got the shading in there as well. So I'm just going to keep going. I think possibly what I will do, because as I said it does take a bit of time to build it up, which is why I won't be doing it on all of the pieces, just probably the chameleon and maybe the sort of anteater butterfly things that we've got going on here, but I'll maybe just pop you on fast forward now while I finish that. Okay, so that's those watercoloured. I'm just going to add in some final details. I don't have a huge amount of paint pens, but we'll use the ones that we do have. So I'm just going to sort of add in a bit more detail with my paint pens and things. Just because we can, really. I think the more details in there the better, the more interesting it looks. So, and then we will go in with our white pen just to bring it all to life a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to give him like a turquoise checkered look, so I'm just going in every other one. I've already got turquoise down, but it's just going to deepen it a little bit. Yeah, okay, happy with that. So I'll maybe do the same on this little eater bag as well. We could get some extra lines going on in there. Again, just because we can. It's just layering up the different products that we've got to hand and seeing how we get on. So now I'm just going to finally grab my white pen, and I'm just going to, I think the adding details with the white paint is what really makes it pop. Now, in all honesty, I should probably wait till tomorrow to do this so that it's fully dry, because you will find it will sink in and it will take on a bit of the colour that's underneath. But you know, I'm impatient as always. Well, partly I want to get it done, and partly I need to get it done because I need to get these in the post so our lovely Emma has them on time. So as I said, these are going to be on Hachanda on the 2nd, I think it is. Yeah. So I'm just going to add some details in the leaves as well. This funny little dotty moustache, I'm going to do that in white because why not? Okay, there we go. He's looking particularly cute, so I'm just going to keep adding white detail to the rest of these. I'm going to cut everything out. When I have got to that stage, I will be back with you and then we can make something with it all. Okay, so I'm back. Let's put something together with all the bits that we have created. I am just wanting to take away a little bit of the starkness of this card. So I've just literally folded a piece of the Dolly Dimples mixed media card in half, because it's the same card that the Emma's stuff has been printed off on. So the cream of that will be the same colour. So I was kind of wanting to colour match it, and my normal white blank cards were just a bit too stark against it because this is more of an off-white look. So I'm just getting a little bit of colour down here. I think what I may do next is if I can find my little spray. I did have a water spray right by my desk, and my gorgeous little girl decided to stick green paint in it, which is fabulous. I admire her creativity, but it's left me without a water spray and now I'm faffing. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I've got that dried off, and whilst, before I start building it up, I'm going to put my black edge on first, because I know I'm going to have things overlapping the edge, and it'll make getting in and getting that edge on after more difficult. So I'm just going to get that in first. As I said, the reason I've chosen this card is it's because it's a similar card to what these have been printed on, and so the colour match as well, which is kind of what I am going for. So I'm just going to, as I said, edge this. Now I'm going to make this side the bottom part purely that I've got a big black mark there, and so I know I can cover it if it's faced at the bottom. So like if you do things like that, you know, put a smudge where you don't want it, don't worry about it. There's ways around these things. We all do it. Right, now, oh, do you know what? My husband's moved me around again. He's tried to sort things for me to make it better, which is very kind of him. But it just means I end up constantly losing what I did have sorted to hand. So now I'm going to have to discover where he's put my glue. It's not the glue I want, but it's glue. He's tried to put another sort of shelving bit together to make it easier for filming and things, which it has, because it means I'm not going to knock my signed off again. But I just can't see where he's put my glue, so he sort of moved the stuff that was already on my desk to rearrange things. We're going to get a bit of a noise now, because that's the... Actually, I didn't want that to come out first. Right, I want to put one of these... Hello! So we're back to plenty of noise being in the house, because, you know, that's Kezia just back from school now. So I'm just going to pop that one up there like so, and then grab my scissors, and I'm just going to snip that. Whoops! Because then I can use the rest of it further down. Okay. So I'm going to do that, and then let's grab the rest of the glue here. And I'm going to put some down the other side too. Oops. I prefer my big one. It's coming, but it's kind of like stopping and starting. It's like kangaroo juice. I'll tell you, we've got a new car, but it's not one. We've gone from a diesel to a petrol, and then we've gone from having a normal handbrake to having one of these electronic handbrakes. And yeah, turn the handbrake off by pressing buttons, and having your foot on the brake when you start and taking it off. Oh, I couldn't get to grips with it at all. And yeah, it felt like we had kangaroo juice yesterday. I tried to take it for a little drive to try and get used to it, and yeah, definitely had a whole kangaroo juice thing going on. Right, so I'm going to pop. Actually, I think I want that popping. Do you know what? I think what I'd done before, because I had I'm just going to, no, I can't. Right, okay, I'm just going to have to go with the flow. I've got another frame there, so I can have another fiddle. Right, so I'm going to pop that down like so, so we've kind of got frame within frame, and then I'm just going to tuck these parts under the frame and then snip it, and then we will build up from there. Come on, glue. Come on, come on, come on. It's obviously needing two hands. Right, there we go. I'll have to try and find the other one before I film. So I'm just lifting the frame up, and I'm just sort of tucking the edge of this chameleon image underneath that frame. Don't know if you can see that there. And then I'm just going to neaten it off. So as I said, it's just tucked behind the frame there, so it's like he comes out within the frame. Oh, you're so cute. Right, I found this one. Let's hope that one works. Could just be me and glue, to be honest. Right, I'm not sure if I want the second dragonfly. Let's build up some florals over here. So let's see what we've got. I'm just trying to take different ones so that we've got a little selection. So some of these, all of these little flowers here are from that sort of new set with all the extra bits and pieces, and then the leaves are from the chameleon thing. So we've only used the two stamp sets. We've used the chameleon stamp set and we've used the other one. I'll have the details below. So we've got something along those lines. I think maybe just whether to have the one dragonfly, or we could have, yeah, I kind of don't want it too busy. But let's see, I think we need a couple more leaves out the side here. So there we go. Cool. Something like that, I feel. So let's just, I'll try and I think I'll take them. I'm gonna risk just hoping that I can remember how I had it. I'm going to give these a little bit of a shape, just because it's the only place that we have got dimension going on. Right. Oh yeah, it's coming. It's thinking about it, but it is coming. I think once it does start, then it'll be fine. We're not going to have that sort of stopping and starting thing that we had. I don't think we're going to have spluttering once it gets going. There we go. Okay, so we'll just pop these down here like so. So he's like sitting in a very fruitaceous tree. Is that a word? It's got lots of foliage and bloomage on it. Lots of funky flowers going on here. I love artwork like this. I love like fantasy flowers and things. Definitely like my fantasy flowers as opposed to real, you know, artwork that is more realistic. I think it suits. I like it. Yeah, my sort of style. Right. So we just got this. So it's a fairly simple card. Once we've got everything sort of coloured and cut comes together quite easy despite glue issues. So that I've kind of got the bulk of that now, so now we're going to get our foliage in, because I think this is always what lifts it and takes it to the next stage. So we'll pop all of that together like so. Right, there we go. So quick and easy. It's a little bit funky, a little bit different. I think I probably am going to want to add some form of doodling on it. Yeah, pop that one there. I'm trying to decide whether I want another dragonfly. We'll have a little look. Yeah, actually the dragonflies are quite cute. Do I want a third one? I've gone from having one. I think we'll just have one to having a whole host of them. Yeah, actually I'm going to do that, and then what I think I might do is get some gems, maybe. I don't know if it suits gems. But I like the dragonflies, that's cool. It's made me want to stamp a whole load more dragonflies and do a card just with dragonflies. I can see me running out of these frames far too quick. Okay, so that's me done that there. So I'm now just going to grab one of my pens, and look at all these leftover bits that we've got here that we can make something else with. So maybe come back and do another video with you, and we can do a quick and easy make using all of those elements. It's just a bit too thin. It's a bit too thin. Let's try and brush one. Okay. So I'm just going to come in and do some scribbles and some doodles just to frame that, and then we will adhere this to a card blank, and that will be this one done. And as I said, I've got one more little frame there and all of those bits cut out, so let's come back and we can do a quick and easy card using that as well. All good. So that's that, just finishing it off. And as I said, what I will do is I'm just going to mount that on a card, and I'll come back and show you it on a tidy desk, because that does make a difference when you can actually see it without all the gubbins going on in the background. So 2 seconds. Okay, so that is our card all complete with the gorgeous chameleon. Emma will be on Hachanda if you're interested in getting these. She is going to be on the 2nd of October. If not, you can find her stuff on the Clever Prints website, but I will link everything that you need down below. But I hope you have enjoyed it with me today. It's been a while since I've done some like watercolouring and fussy cutting, so that was fun. And if you have enjoyed it here, please do consider liking and subscribing, and I will be back again with you very soon. Okay, take care then, and goodbye.